the truth. Welcome to the truth, where the truth don't lie. 3 T's, no lie. Welcome to the truth, where the truth don't lie. 3 T's, no lie. Welcome to the truth, where the truth don't lie. 3 T's, no lie. Welcome to the truth, where the truth don't lie. 3 T's, no lie. Welcome to the truth. Welcome to the truth. 3 T's, no lie. Welcome to the truth. Welcome to the truth. 3 Welcome to the truth. Welcome to the truth.
Welcome to T.D.T. Talk, where we tell you
the damn truth.
Welcome to the truth, where the truth don't lie.
Hello. Look, y'all come on in the room. Hello, give me a shout out. Let me know who is here. As y'all can see, this screen is just all me. My co-host. Let's send some prayers up for my co-host as he gets back to incredible health. But tonight, y'all, it's just me. Y'all got me all to yourselves. Yes. And as you can see, tonight's topic, oh, say, can you see that none of these shooters look like me? Yeah. So before we get started, we always say, welcome to T.D.T. Talk. But see, now I got to do it all by myself. So welcome to T.D.T. Talk, where we tell you the damn red, white, and blue truth. Okay? All right. So we're seeing the same old thing over and over and over again. It's not stopping. It's not even slowing down, right? So we have, and let me pull up my picture here because I had to make a whole picture on this just to show y'all. These are the last shootings over the last year. So from March 2021 to July 2022, actually it's a little over a year. All of these shooters. We got the guy that shot up the massage parlor in Atlanta. Remember that? And then it was a whole Asian hate thing that went on. We got this guy, I didn't even know about him, the grocery store in Boulder, Colorado. And then the guy that went into the FedEx parking lot. I remember that one where he went and shot up and killed 8 people. Let's not forget our family here. The Oxford High School shooter where he killed 4 people and his parents, like his mom sent that text message saying, son, don't get caught doing whatever it was that he was doing in school, buying them guns and things. And then they went on the run. And then we have the top supermarket killer, May 14th, where he went, stalked this black area, this black neighborhood store, and killed 10 people in that store after going to the store the night before and talking to the people. And then we have the Robb Elementary School shooter in Uvalde, Texas, where the cops didn't even go in the building. They didn't even go in the building. He killed 21 people, kids and staff. And then we have this guy right here, the Independence Day Parade shooter in Highland Park, where he sat on a roof in a woman's dress and like a sniper, and he killed, how many people was it? He killed 6 people and injured I don't know how many more. So all of these shooters, murderers, that's what they are. All of these murderers planned out what they were going to do. Very strategic and methodical about how they did it. And all of them using these assault rifles, and all of them ages 22 and under. But then we have another story where, actually, let me show y'all. Because there's clearly 2 different Americas. We all know that there is 2 different Americas. But in 2022, how bold of you is it to just continue to blatantly show us that it's two different Americas in our face night after night, where all we can do is protest and get angry and march, and we never have any justice, and we always lose a loved one. I got some video I want to show you guys. One moment, please. One second, because this is beyond me at this point. All right.
Nearly 1 week after Jayland Walker's death and facing growing community pressure, officials in Akron, Ohio, releasing the body camera footage.
I won't mince words. The video you're about to watch is heartbreaking.
It shows a harrowing police chase followed by a stunning hail of bullets. An estimated 90 rounds fired by 8 Akron, Ohio officers, killing and leaving 25-year-old Jayland Walker with 60 wounds to the body, according to authorities.
My youngest is 25 years of age as well. And I cannot imagine what life would be like without my son.
The approximately 7 minutes of raw video released alongside a second narrated clip gives new insight into what preceded the shooting. Police say they tried to pull Walker over for an unspecified traffic violation and an equipment violation, which is not shown on tape. But they say he took off, driving at high speeds, and Walker fired at them. Police saying you can see the flash from the gun from the security camera.
21 shots fired. That vehicle just had a shot come out of its door.
Shot is fired. That changes the nature of the contact.
Authorities say Walker later ran from his car wearing a ski mask. Officers, investigators say, fired tasers but missed. What followed? That deadly barrage of bullets. Police saying officers said they thought Walker was turning toward them, reaching for a gun. Walker was unarmed when he was shot, though police say they found a gun and what appears to be a wedding ring in Walker's car.
Shoot somebody 60 and 70 times like there's nothing inhuman.
Anger in Akron boiling over.
We have sons ourselves. It could be any of our sons. And this is just horrible.
Okay. And then there we go with the marching and the protesting, right? Because that's all that we can do. Hey, co-host. Hey, Ava. So, okay. So here's the thing. There's more to the story, right? So let me fill in a few of the blanks for you. Do y'all like my t-shirt? Y'all know I'm random. Life is in progress, okay? This is the Buck Moon, and I am manifesting some good and great things in my life. So here we go. But let me fill in the blanks for you about this story. Okay. So Jayland was in another city that borders Akron, Ohio. He was in that city. That city police officer got behind him, tried to stop him for whatever traffic violation was occurring. And Jayland sped up. They said he got up to speeds of 55. Okay. And he crossed the border. He crossed the city line. So once he crossed the city line, then that other police officer, I guess, lost jurisdiction. He could not go across the line and continue the chase. That was earlier in the day. Later that night, about 12:30 a.m., Jayland's still out driving around. Of course, the police officer from the other city called Akron and reported what happened. Who wouldn't think that they would? And I'm sure they were out looking for the car and the tag the entire day, right? Hunting this guy because he sped up, eluded the police, and got across the city line. Okay. So now they're hunting him, right? And they finally catch up to him. And again, he speeds off. And now we're on this chase, right? So the cops are chasing him. He's speeding, driving wherever, he was going. And I'm gonna pause right there. When you look like me, I'm sorry, but when the cops try to stop you, you need to stop. Because if you keep going, probably gonna die. We know this at this point, right? We know that this is how it goes. It's a 50-50 chance. If I stop, I might die. If I keep going, I'm definitely gonna die. But the might die is a little better chance than the I'm definitely gonna die, right? Okay. So he's eluding the police. He's driving, still getting away. And then they say there was shots fired from the car. And there's this flash of light. The caption was up, so y'all couldn't see the little flash they were talking about from the car. The flash could have been his cell phone going off. The flash could have been him with a lighter taking his last cigarette, like my girl and set it off. Like, I mean, what that flash could have been 1,000 different things. It could have been a reflection from a light outside. But they swear, this one person that called it in swears that flash was a gunshot. And then they also said that it sounded like a gunshot. I don't know if they found any proof. Did they find a shell? Y'all let me know. Did they find any proof that that was a shot? If it was, another layer of I don't know what you was thinking, Jalen. But at this point, let's just say that they haven't proved that. Okay. So then he finally stops, jumps out the car with a ski mask on. Okay. I don't know what he was on or what he was thinking. I don't know what kind of day Jalen was having, but he gets out the car. Now he's running. They say he turned around once, facing them. There's no gun or anything. They don't see, and then it's night. But they don't see a gun or anything. All of these cops are chasing. No proof this far. Thank you, co-host. So no gun that they can see when he turned around and faced them as he's running away. Okay. All of these cops, I think it was like 8 of them. Let me know exactly how many, but I think it was like 8 or 9 are chasing him after hunting him all day. I can imagine just for a second how upset these officers may have been, right? Because they got the call from the prior city saying, hey, this guy eluded me. Get him. You know, this is his car. These are his tags. Black man driving, whatever. I can imagine that was the conversation. Maybe not, but I'm on the show by myself tonight. So that's what I say it is. That's what it is. All right. So, so that cop was upset. That energy transferred over to the Akron police. We're going to get him, right? So now they're hunting this 25-year-old black male all day, finally find him, and he has the nerve to continue to run from them. I'm sure they're mad. Now they got to get out their car and run. Have y'all seen the police officers lately in any city? All of them start at about 5 feet, 8 inches, 295 pounds at the least. All of them need some lettuce, shake the water off because the water is too many calories, okay? Like now they're outside their car having to chase this 25-year-old black man who one officer called in and say, oh, shots fired. Okay, so I can imagine the adrenaline, right, of the hunt. And while I'm thinking about this, I can only imagine about 400 years ago in slavery, actually not quite all of the 400, about 100 years ago in slavery, 100 some, and how whenever a slave ran away and you have the slave catchers hunting this black man to bring him back, and how aggressive and angry, frustrated they were. All that negative energy put into the chase of hunting this 25-year-old black man. He's outside his car. They have time to tase him, right? Apparently, they didn't feel too threatened if the first thing that they did was try to tase him. But they're running. The tasers missed. I bet if they pulled all 9 tasers, one of them would have got it, right? They didn't pull all 9 tasers, though. All right. So the taser missed. Okay. So now they're even more mad, right? How is he running and getting away from all of us, making us look completely stupid all day long in 2 cities? Now they're really mad. And then they say he turned around again, and now he's putting his hand towards his waist. Oh, well, that's where the gun is, right? Because that's what they're suspecting now. Okay. And then they unload on him. Hey, Donna. And then they unload on him. And I think 90 bullets were shot, but 60 landed into his body. So the coroner said that there were 60 wounds to his body. 60, y'all, 60. That is excessive. But I do want to say this one thing. When you are caught up in fear, right? And the fear and the negative energy and the anger and the frustration of everybody in your group, right? So all 9 of y'all in this group hunting this black man, y'all are all angry and frustrated and tired, right? And the adrenaline is going. One of them already said there's a threat, so that's in your mind. Now, when I leave the house, my goal is to get back home at any cost. It's going to be a me or you situation if you come in the way of me getting back home, because I'm returning home today, okay? I can imagine as a police officer or any human being, I'm not going to dehumanize them in any way. Any human being, that is our goal, right? I want to return the same way I left, no matter what job it is that I go out to do. But when you have this job as a police officer, you're taking a lot of risk to not come back home. There should be some type of training. And I don't know what type of training the police officers go through, but you have to be an emotionally regulated person. You should need to be a strategic, critical thinker. You need to be a person who is empathic and understanding. You need to be the type of person who your first goal isn't to kill, but to stop the person and understand the situation. And then you do have to follow these ridiculous laws after that point. Carl says it's a perpetual target on the Black community, and they wonder why we are naturally on fight or flight mentality. Exactly. We are on fight or flight all the time. So for us to, all the way from slavery, right? So we were doing absolutely nothing when they were pulling us out our house and hanging us from trees. So of course, still to this day, generationally, it has been passed down, this fear, this constant fight or flight against law enforcement, right? So it is a natural instinct, and there's research and studies that show it is a natural instinct for Black men to initially think to run whenever they are stopped or detained by the police. And whenever you hear a person, a Black man, after he has been caught from running, police officer will ask, "Why did you run?" He always says, "Man, I don't know. I was scared." Fight or flight, right? Because we're not going to freeze. Typically, that's not going to happen. So we either do the fight or the flight. And in these situations, it's always the flight. And that's what's always getting us killed. But it doesn't matter, because even when we do freeze, we get killed in as well. So 60 shots, and now we're in the streets protesting. No justice. This has to go to court. All the officers are placed on vacation, aka paid leave. Okay. Just in time for 4th of July, right? They're on vacation just in time for 4th of July. And then what happens on 4th of July? I tell you. I got another video for y'all. Hold, please. Hold, please. Because July has started off with a literal bang, okay? It's going on. All right, here we go.
And now this morning, growing questions about missed red flags. Overnight, Illinois police saying the suspect passed 4 background checks in 2020 and 2021, despite 2 prior police incidents. In 2019, when he threatened to take his own life, and that September, when police say family members accused him of threatening to kill people with knives.
The threat was directed at family inside of the home. So at that time, there was no information that he possessed any firearms.
Now, sources telling ABC News investigators are poring over social media posts believed to be from the suspect dating back over a year ago. One video even showing part of the parade route. The suspect leaving a disturbing trail of posts online on sites like YouTube, Discord, and TikTok. Some of that content removed in the wake of the deadly shooting. The suspected shooter also using weapons he had obtained legally, including that assault-style rifle that is legal in parts of Illinois, but not in Highland Park.
Two of the weapons were obtained within the region here. Those were two of the rifles. The rifle used in the attack was purchased by him.
Vice President Kamala Harris visiting the community, meeting with the mayor and law enforcement, calling for stricter gun laws.
There is no reason that we have weapons of war on the streets of America.
Co-host. Hold on, let me come back to the screen. Co-host, did we do the where's Kamala thing? Was we like, where is Kamala? Who? Kamala, I remember it was like a whole big to-do, right? Black girl power, black girl magic, all of this. When she got sworn in to be the vice president of the United States of America. And then we ain't seen Kamala. Like, where has Kamala been? And then my most recent sighting of Kamala is this. Saw it today. And I'm like, really, Kamala, this is when you come out? This is when you come out to push gun violence. The gun didn't kill nobody. It was the person behind the trigger. Don't take away my gun rights because this fool, 22 years old or however old he was, first of all, there's some more story to this. Yes, Carl, the where's like the where Waldo, where's Kamala? And then when I see you, Kamala, this is what you got to say? Gun violence? The gun, sweetie, no. I'm gonna need y'all to cut that all the way out, okay? I'm a legal gun owner and I responsibly use my weapon. Not out here hunting nobody. I'm not sitting on no roof like a sniper in a man's outfit trying to kill people and get away peacefully. No. So let's talk about this. This little boy, I think it was dating back to 2019. And I'm sure it dated back further than that. They just didn't want to talk about that. But this little boy posted stuff on Facebook. And they're talking about, oh, well, now we want to look at some of these strange and concerning things. Okay, a little more history on this story. His parents, his dad, actually bought him weapons. People at school described him as the quiet kid who always talked about wanting to kill people. He's posting stuff on Facebook, and they even said parts of the parade route. This little boy has been scoping out murdering people on July 4th for a long time. So the number 742, there was some number 742 or something like that this little boy posted and talked about all the time. There's some type of connection between this number 742 and here we have July 4th, but it's also attached to a bunch of other dark stuff. Y'all look that up. So many red flags, right? Way before July 4th, 2022, but nobody wants to look at the strange little white boy who's giving us all these breadcrumbs leading us up to the crime, right? Nobody wants to look at him. But this black man who sped up, got away from the cops, got out of his car, started running, gets unloaded on over 60 times. Like, I think they said 90, but he actually received 60 of those bullets to his body. Now, he is murdered. This little boy got away in the crowd with his mama dress on, and got in, it was a one of them little electric cars, y'all, look like a clown car, Honda Fit, or something like that. A little clown car. He driving around. First of all, that is not a good getaway car, little boy. Okay. Your getaway car is the reason why you probably didn't get away. But he's driving around and peacefully stopped. Get out your car. Get out your car. Now, mind you, he did follow the directions that they gave him. But this man just sat on a roof. Where's the aggression? Where's the frustration? Where's the anger? Where's that same negative energy that you have for Jalen? None of that energy was coming towards the Highland Park July 4th massacre. I don't even know his name, and I'm not even going to give him any type of grace for me even saying it. That little boy murdered all these people and wounded these people sitting on the top of the roof like a sniper, where he's already mapped it out. He got on top of the building from a ladder that was broken. He had already mapped everything out. He already knew what he was going to do that day. Premeditated murder. And then him and his little Honda Fit gets stopped by the police officers, and they have their guns drawn, but there's no aggression, there's no anger. You know, they're not cussing at him to tell him get out his effing car, and I didn't hear any of that. You know, they were real peaceful with him, and he's taking on off the jail. Exactly. So, Carl, exactly. Why they never match the energy for unarmed versus white shooters. Why is that? I just don't know what to say. So here we are, right? Black people, y'all, we have been marching for far too long. That is all we do. We get in the street and we protest and we march. Ben Crump comes along, and you know what? I ain't like Ben Crump for a while because I didn't understand his position. I understand his position very well now. Ben Crump comes in to get you that civil lawsuit. He gonna get you to check on the other end, okay? That's what he does. He does civil law. He doesn't do criminal. Who's our criminal lawyer? Since we got to have one token black person all the time. Our civil rights lawyer back in the day was Thurgood Marshall, y'all. We talk about him in February all the time. I wrote a report about him. I wasn't letting my kids do it. We talked about other black people. Well, there's more than the one, but anyway, that's another show. Y'all, who is our one today? Since we always got to have a one. I should have worn my Rosa Parks shirt. We have a Rosa Parks, you know. Now we have Ben Crump, who's taking Thurgood Marshall's place. Jesse Jackson, bless his heart, he is up in age. Who's our one? Who is our criminal lawyer that's actually going to prosecute this thing? So Jalen's lawyer is actually a white guy. And I'm going to tell y'all why I'm happy about that. This white man has so much passion because he believes that right is right and wrong is wrong. And he's sifting through all the evidence. And so far, based on what he's saying, they're lying about everything, right? But it's their word. And we really can't tell from the video, you know, what's really happening. And it's hearsay, you know, so it's not hearsay. It's what they say, what we see on the camera, and none of it really you can prove. So he's going to have to go by the bullets. You know, if Jalen shot out that window, there's a shell. But the funny thing is, they found the gun inside the car with no magazine in it. How do you shoot? Okay, so how you driving at a high speed? Driving at a high speed, and his lawyer went through this too. How are you driving at a high speed, eluding the police? He didn't tear up no cars on the side of the road. He didn't tear up anybody's property. So apparently he's focused on actually driving, right? Jalen is good at 25 if he did all this. Driving perfectly, eluding police, not even in a reckless manner because he's getting away without tearing anything up, has a gun, turns out the window and shoot. I mean, come on, that's not even part. We're not in the movies, y'all. Cut it out. We are not in the movies. And then while he's driving, apparently, he takes the magazine out. Like you got to, you know, discharge. You got to get I don't know the words for it, but you got to get the bullet out the chamber, and then you got to take the magazine out. Okay. So a lot has got to be done, and you driving. Now I'm good for, you know, eating French fries or whatever in the car, and putting on lip gloss at the same time and driving with my knee. But I'm not trying to elude the police either. Okay. I'm probably doing about 35, maybe 40. And then there's a ring. Now, that's the little strange part to me. What I understand is that he had just lost his fiance. So for there to be a gun and a ring in the car, I understand that he was sad and it had just happened. Like he wasn't depressed that fast. Okay. He would have already, now they're trying to pull mental health into this, right? He would have already had to have a diagnosis of depression or whatever. And it would have already had to be at a severe state for that thing. You know, it's a culmination of things that get people to their breaking point. So that final thing to push him over the edge, if they were trying to insinuate anyway, suicide. There was one thing that I watched where the guy was talking about suicide by police. So he tried to say that Jalen was depressed and about losing his fiance. He had the gun and the ring in the car as evidence of he was going to commit suicide, but he wanted to do it in a way where it wouldn't reflect on him. And he went out looking like a hero. Okay, what I'm going to need y'all to do, I'm going to need y'all to cut it out. Okay. Co-host, the captain save-o mentality. They stay wanting to save their own to hell with everyone else. She's so right. So right. There's get taken to jail, you know, very peacefully, go to court, get off. But we always end up murdered. And then they're trying to pull mental health, which is our thing, co-host. Co-host, I want to know, what do you think about that? Them trying to pull in the mental health aspect. Oh, well, maybe he was depressed, wanting to commit suicide, but decided to do suicide by cop. So I'll do something, break a law, run from the cops, and make them shoot me so that I don't have to kill myself, but I still end up not being on earth, which is what my goal is. I'm really not buying that one. I really want to hear from the family and hear more of what they have to say. So far, they're just saying a lot of positive stuff about Jalen, which is, of course, what we know is going to happen. But everybody has a real story, right? So I'm wondering what the real story is behind Jalen and if there's any type of validity to the mental health aspect. But right now, I'm absolutely not buying it. Why was there the gun in the car? Why was the ring in there? And then the picture is the two side by side. Here's the thing with that. Even though on the picture they were side by side, doesn't mean that that's how they were found in the car. That gun could have been on the floor and the ring could have been hanging from a necklace on his rearview mirror. Because y'all know how we'll hang something up. We'll put the baby shoes up there to pacify. We'll put a lot of stuff on our rearview mirror, right? So, you know, just because we see it in the picture, when they got ready to take the picture, it's staged, you know, but where was it really? So there's so much that we're never going to know about this story. Co-host, they trying to use it as a catalyst to shed light on mental health. However, if he was trying to do death by cop, he would have drawn his weapon typically. Absolutely. And he would have done that like the weapon was in the car. You know, I agree. If he really wanted to do death by cop, then what was the chase for with no weapon? Like, why faking a weapon? You know, like, I really don't think Jalen sat around like the sniper did, the Highland Park July 4th murderer sniper did for years, plotting and planning on how he was going to murder someone. I don't feel like Jalen sat around and said, okay, I want to commit suicide today. Now when people commit suicide, there is a plan. But the plan just don't make sense to me. To sit around and say, okay, I am going to do something and get cops to follow me. Because that's not what it was in the other city. I think the violation was something stupid about the tag or a light on the tag or something. It was something stupid. Like, if you intentionally trying to get caught by the cops, then you're just going to run out in front of them and you're going to do something really, really crazy and hasty. This was just a regular traffic stop. So, you know, if that, it was a picky stop is what it was. But we know we get caught up in those all the time. So, you know, I don't know. I'm finding it very hard to go along with the mental health theme here. I hate it when people try to use mental health in these type of ways. Yes, we want to bring awareness to mental health, but I'm not giving you an excuse for shooting this 25-year-old young black man 60 times. 60 times, your finger really got stuck on the trigger. 60 times, y'all unloaded. Every single officer unloaded their weapon. They did not stop shooting until they were out of bullets. It was one person that they were shooting at. Why was that even necessary? So what do y'all think? What do y'all have to say? Like, why are we still going through these things? Yes, co-host, and let's not be naive. Cops don't plant evidence in vehicles. I want to see the report showing that the gun discharged, the ballistic will show discharge. You know what, Carl? Actually, I believe the lawyer has already looked into that, and he's saying that that weapon was not fired. Of all, it didn't have a magazine in it, but some kind of way they can tell if the weapon has been fired or not. And he's saying that the weapon had not been fired. So the whole we saw a flash and heard a gunshot thing, is that whole story is falling apart already. I don't know. So we don't have we don't have our criminal lawyer, but thankfully we have an ally on this case. Y'all, things don't happen. This is why allies are so important. I don't want y'all to ever think that me and Carl don't like white people, or we hate white people, or we got something against white people. No. Carl and I have taken assessments that prove to show that right is right, wrong is wrong. It doesn't matter what your skin color is, your nationality, ethnicity, culture, whatever. We will come for you regardless. Okay. So it doesn't matter what you look like to us. All right. We have no biases. We will come at you equally based on what you're doing. That's just not right. Okay. So Donna says, why are they even allowed to empty their guns like that? It doesn't take that many bullets to stop one person. Absolutely. Like, the excessiveness of it all. That should be illegal. Like, why is that even okay? Like, and when the police chief was explaining the whole situation, his thing was, when the cop called in and said that Jalen shot at them, that changed the game. That changed the whole narrative. So that changed it to where now everybody is gung-ho. Everybody is in there just ready to unload on this boy just because you think he shot at you. He didn't even hit. Of all, he didn't even shoot. I don't even believe that. But of all, no officer was even harmed. Everybody at this point still have their lives. So why was he such a threat? Other than he's a black man. I mean, y'all, come on, give me another answer to this story. Why was he such a threat? Co-host, let me guess. They feared for their lives and they would only feel secure once their mag was empty. Yes. So what we know as therapists, once that adrenaline is going and you are in this energy zone, right? So all of these, the endorphins are pumping, and you're not thinking clearly at this point because you're literally running off of adrenaline. And at this point, because you're not thinking clearly, you're not going to be strategic about what you're doing. You're not going to think it out first. These dummies, if they're so fearful of this guy that's running away, why all of them get out the car and chase him? Y'all didn't want to stand back and be like, halt, stop, like y'all do for everybody else? I don't know. Yeah, no. So not until your magazine is empty. That's ridiculous. If you get caught up in your emotions that easily to where you can not control yourself at a certain point, then you should not be a police officer. Where are the requirements for how police officers are supposed to conduct themselves under these high stress situations. This is your job. Your job is a high stress situation. Your job is a crisis intervention every single day. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know. We can talk about police officers need to be trained, whatever. I'm sorry, but I strongly believe that there is that inherent bias against African American Black men, young Black men, the implicit bias, right? So that's the bias that's unconscious that you're not even paying attention to. So that implicit bias against a Black man who jumps out the car at nighttime wearing a ski mask. But the white man that comes out of his house with the shotgun on his body saying, I'm going to kill all of you people, you sit and have a calm conversation with him. Y'all, we done seen those videos many times on YouTube, okay? Y'all, so this white man with this machine gun, this rifle, this shotgun on his person, waving it at you, telling you, I'm going to kill all of y'all. He doesn't get unloaded on. Y'all stand there and try to rationalize with him. But what is it about this Black man, unarmed, gets out the car running, that he doesn't get that same courtesy or grace? Cole says, I believe these were the bullied kids on an ego trip. Why are those the ones that always go to be cops? Why? And have become addicted to the God complex, chasing the endorphin release. I completely agree with that. Donna, how big of a gun was he carrying to make them fear for their lives? The gun, first of all, he didn't even have a gun on his body, on his person. The gun that they took a picture of in the car looked like maybe a 9mm. It didn't, it looked like, I don't remember what kind of gun it was, but it was not a rifle. It was not a shotgun. It was a little handgun with no magazine even in it. Hey, Melissa. They are the bully kids and members of the good old boys hiding behind a badge. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. And we need to start being honest about this. And that's what we need to be marching and protesting about. The highlight of it shouldn't be, oh, you shot this poor Black little boy 60 times. The highlight should be focusing on, who are these police officers? Can we get their bios? Because we've heard about Jalen's bio. Okay, well, can we get the police officers' bios? Can I know about the violations that you've made? Can I know about your family history? Can I know about, all the things that you're doing in your life that ain't right and that we know that ain't right? Can we go through their Facebooks and their social medias and see what groups they belong to that are these white supremacist groups? Can we start doing some of this stuff and exposing the people and stop allowing the police forces in this country to continue to be what they originated as or originated from, which were the slave catchers? Like, I'm over it. Cole says, Donna, an imaginary paper pistol. Because he didn't have nothing on him. Cole, the emphasis should be dismantling the blue code of silence. Now, speaking about the blue code of silence, if we think about all the officers was there, I think there was like one. I keep getting it mixed up with 8 or 9 because I think there was one officer that didn't unload. I think there was just one officer that didn't do what the rest of the group did. Y'all look that up. Let me know. Hit me up on our Facebook group. Co-host, fact check me on that. But I remember when I heard it, I was like, oh, well, there was one. But is that one going to speak up and say anything? He said nothing so far. So here we have this blue code of silence, right? We have one person with a conscience, maybe, and not going to say anything because the blue code, snitches get stitches. If you talk, we're going to harass your family. We're going to harass you, may even try to kill you, right? We're going to make your life a living hell. We're going to make your job, you coming to work every day, a living hell. We're going to make your life not worth living anymore if you tell on us. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And what's even more ridiculous is that as Black people, we are still allowing these things to happen because our response to them, they already know that all we're going to do is go on the street and protest. Who cares? Some more of us gonna get arrested during the protest. Like, we're giving them even more of our lives when we do these things. Go do a news press so that the world knows about it. Absolutely. We want to make sure that we highlight it and keep these incidents in the forefront. But the days and days and weeks of protesting, for what? For what? There should be another approach. I don't know what it should be, but we need to come up with something else. We need to start doing something different. Black people need to start handling these situations in a very different way. When you start showing people that you are not, like, literally, I'm not just going to protest against it. I'm not standing for it. You will not get away with this. This is not going to continue to happen because I'm going to do this to stop you. Once we figure out what we can do to legally stop them, because we got to do it the legal way, because we can't get away with doing anything that's not legal like other cultures do all the time. We need to figure it out. How do we stop them? And I believe we stop them by coming together. Black people, we got to do better. I'm gonna hold you accountable. We got to do better. We spend so much time fighting against each other. We have the gang violence in our own neighborhoods. You don't own a corner in your city. Matter of fact, you don't own nothing. You don't own that apartment you live in. You don't own that car you drive in. You don't own anything, nothing at all. Somebody else bought your clothes and shoes. Like, you don't own anything. And we're fighting over territory. We're fighting over, you looked at me. We're fighting over all kind of foolishness amongst ourselves, when we need to take that energy and put it where it needs to be. I do remember after George Floyd, do y'all remember the INFAC? Was it INFAC? Fact check that for me, co-host. I think it was INFAC, not effing around coalition. Was Willie D a part of that? I can't quite remember. But INFAC was showing up at these different places, right? In their black uniforms, their black fatigues, with their guns, legally doing stuff. And I remember when that was happening, it seemed like to me, white people was changing their energy just a little bit. To me. At least by the reaction of the crowd. Once they see that we're going to show up for each other. Yeah. Once they show that we're going to show up for each other and actually unite against a common cause and injustice, we can't be stopped. But that's what we have to do. Melissa says, someone suggested that more Black people get insurance. If insurance companies have to continuously pay out for police killing Black people, the insurance companies will respond legally. I heard that too. And when I heard this, I was like, okay, I hadn't thought about that. But it makes sense. How many insurance policies would they have to have paid out now? Because if you win a civil case, that means your death was accidental, right? Or it wasn't of your fault. So we get these accidental death policies, paying out at $500,000 plus $1 million, These insurance companies are going to do something, because the insurance companies are ran by whom? The people at the top of the food chain, and they don't want their coins touched. Okay. Cole says we need the remix to the Panther movement. I think that's what INFAC was. Check out INFAC. It was the No Effing Around Coalition. And I thought it was funny as all get out, but they were serious. Okay. Not funny as taking them for a joke. But like, it was great to see. It was great to see these Black people come together, legal gun owners with their weapons, showing up at these different cities, to do their style of protesting, which was still peaceful and marching. But you're going to see me and you're going to hear what I have to say. And it wasn't that peaceful protest conversation, So yeah, guys, I think we can do a show on this type of situation every week. It's not slowing down, it's increasing. There's no consequences for the police officers ever. And it's still just open season on the Black man. I have a Black son, and he's 14, and I don't live in fear. I live in God's grace and expectancy. And I believe in his coverage. So I don't operate in fear. But I do want things to be different for my children, for all of our children, all of our sons and daughters coming up in these streets, because it's getting worse. After 400 some years, it's getting worse. It's not getting better. How are we going backwards in 2022 in the age of technology and everything that we have, you know, abundance if we go out and work hard for it and get it and figure out how to do it, you know. I just don't know. The going backwards is not helping us at all. All right. Y'all, that's all I got. Look, I missed my co-host tonight. Can I just talk to y'all for a second? Okay, my co-host was like, look, I ain't gonna be able to do it. I was like, tear. Because where's the comic relief? Like, I need the jokes from my co-host. Like, he gives me life every day, every time I talk to him. But on these every other Fridays, y'all, he gives me life. So I know he gives you life too. I didn't have my comedic partner with me. Yes, co-host. I hope I did you justice tonight, holding down this show. This was the first time I had to hold down the show. Co-host has held down many shows for me. So I am so thankful to him. And yes, Donna, I missed him too. Look, I do not have Carl's comedic timing. Oh my gosh. And the way that we are able to bounce off of each other, y'all, we don't practice it. We do not rehearse. Y'all literally get to sit in on just our conversations. This is how we talk. So co-host, I missed you tonight, but I hope I did you some justice. I hope the show was enjoyable, informative, empowering, and motivates us to work towards change. So y'all, thank y'all for hanging with me tonight. We'll be back in 2 weeks talking about, I don't know, but it'll be good. And co-host to be with me. So until next time, T.D.T is out.
Welcome to the truth. Welcome to the truth. Welcome to the truth, where the truth don't lie. 3 T's, no lie.
Thank you. Tune in next week. Same black channel, same black host, and we'll holler at you at the same black time. Bye.
Right.